Good morning. This is the Words of God's Church. I'm Samuel Moreland. I wanted to come and, I would say, pray with you this morning concerning our health, our strength, our guidance. For those that we know that are in need, and especially for those that don't know how to pray. We take it for granted, I guess, that we know how to pray, and we should know how to pray, but it's people that are less fortunate than we are. They never did learn how to pray, and they are lost for words now when it's time to pray. But what I wanted to do this morning is just to spend a little time in prayer this morning, because we need prayer all the time, but especially at this time of this epidemic that we are going through. You need to pray. Ask and you shall receive. That is written in the scripture. Ask and you shall receive. And what's the reverse side of that? Don't ask and you won't receive. That's just the way it is. So I want to pray this morning that your eyes of understanding will be enlightened, that you will take time out of your schedule to get into your private area, your prayer closet, so to speak. Get to know God. He made it real easy. In His Word, it is written that ask and you shall receive. I mean, just as plain as you can speak. He said, ask and you shall receive. And if you're not receiving, you know that one thing. Let's leave one thing. If you're not receiving, you're not asking. I mean, you have to let your favorite TV program, movie, whatever you do, you have to put that third, fourth, or fifth. You have to spend time with the Lord. I say it again. Ask and you shall receive, and vice versa. Don't ask and you won't receive. When you pray, say. That's another thing. When you pray, say. I've heard over the years people say silent prayer. You just heard me say a second ago that when you pray, say. Well, you explain to me, how can you say if you're not saying anything? You have to vocalize in what you say. When you pray, say. You call His name who you're speaking to. You recognize who's in charge. When you pray, say. I learned this a long time ago. I used to listen at speakers on television and the radio talk about prayer, and then I hear he said, bow your head and have a silent prayer. Well, when you pray, say. Well, you explain to me, how can you pray silently if you don't say nothing? If you say something, if you pray and you pray the way God inquires you, requires you to pray, you have to say it. You have to vocalize it. That's where you have to get you a prayer closet. You have